Hi guys! Today I'll show you how to make a Ragi millet dosa. It's a crispy, healthy, and protein-rich dosa, different from the standard dosa. I'm using half a cup of each of the ingredients, and you'll get about 20 dosas from this batter. You can easily double the recipe or cut it in half. Got two types of millet. Finger millet, looks like little black mustard seeds, and foxtail millet. Looks like mustard seeds, but golden. If you only have one type of millet, that's fine. Just use 1 cup of that instead of using half a cup of the finger millet and half a cup of the foxtail millet. Quinoa. If you have tricolor quinoa at home, you can use that instead of the regular quinoa. Either will work in this recipe. This is green gram, half a cup of this, and half a cup of urad dal. Whole urad dal looks like the green gram, except it's black. And this is husked and split. We'll wash everything. Whether you're using these grains for this recipe or another recipe, it's best to use a strainer to wash them because they're so small. Just rinse this under running water. I've rinsed everything, and they're so small, sometimes they even go through the strainer. Wash the green gram. And just dump this out. This is pretty clean. I'm just going to wash it one more time. Once in a while you might find a stone in here. But this looks pretty good. Now the urad dal. Pour this out and wash it 2 more times. Now we're going to cover all the grains with water and soak overnight. Everything's going to expand, so you do want enough water in here. I used 6 cups. I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of Methi seeds or Fenugreek seeds. This is optional. If you don't have it, it's okay. You don't have to add it. Cover this and soak overnight or 8 hours. So I've soaked the lentils overnight. The next morning, the water is a little cloudy. There's some particles on top. We'll just pour off this water and blend it. I'm going to use my Vitamix to blend these lentils into a smooth batter. If you're interested in this model, I'll leave a link right below this video in the description box. I've used this for so many years. I use it for all my batters. It's pretty awesome and gets the job done in just a few minutes. I'm going to blend half of this first. It's best to fill up the blender about halfway depending on how powerful your blender is. It's okay to use some of the water that you've soaked the lentils in. And if you need more, just use some fresh water and use enough just to grind this into a smooth batter. I add just a little bit of water first and then blend, add more water if you need to. You don't want this to be a watery batter. Add just enough water to blend. Start low and move up to high. Just move down any of the lentils that are stuck to the side. I added a little bit more water. Use your clean hands to check the consistency of the batter. Just rub it between your fingers. You can still feel the little bits of millet, so I'm going to grind it a little bit more. You can use high, it's like turbo mode, it goes really fast and it's extremely powerful, but just remember when you turn your machine off to also turn the button from high to variable, otherwise next time you turn it on, it'll be on high and everything will just go all over the blender. up, not out. So it'll just be more messy. I've done that a few times. Now it is very smooth. Finger millet is very, very small, so it is going to be a little bit difficult to grind in some blenders, but the Vitamix does an amazing job. I did need to put it in the high mode to get the finger millet broken down. Put the batter into a bowl and grind the rest. The bowl should have just enough space for the batter to rise a little bit. Just pour a little bit of water into the bowl and get everything out. Just a note, do wait until the lentils are blended and it looks like a batter before you turn the button to high in case you're using a Vitamix. Because if it's not a batter already, what's going to happen is you're going to hit high and then everything is going to go all the way up and it's going to be a big mess of the lentils that are not blended. It's just a big mess to clean and scrape down. You can see I used less water the second time around and it's still blended very nicely. It's thick. Mix this batter with your clean hands. It's so soft. It's a little warm from being in the blender, so be careful not to over blend it. You don't want the batter to cook, especially with these high-powered Vitamixes and other blenders. And I try to keep the edges as neat as I can. This way it doesn't dry up on the sides and it can rise properly and climb up the walls of the bowl. Cover tightly, put it in a warm place to rise. If you live in a cold climate, leave it in your oven that's turned off. Some people turn the oven light on for that little bit of heat that helps the batter rise. If you live in a warm climate, you don't have to worry about any of that. Just put this on your counter. It'll rise in a couple of hours. For me, New Jersey, I'm not going to leave it on my cold granite countertop because the house is still not very hot, so it's not going to rise properly. Just to show you the size of the bowl, you see there's plenty of space for the batter to rise. The plastic wrap is so that it can form a tight seal and it'll stay warm inside. If you live in a hot climate, don't even waste plastic wrap. Just use a plate or a cover. Here's a quick cleaning tip for your blender because the batter is thick. Fill the jar halfway with water and a drop of dish soap. Blend for 10 seconds and pour it out. Rinse with water or blend again with plain water and the jar is clean very quickly. I put my batter under a skylight so it was very hot and the batter rose in just a few hours. If I was making this in wintertime, the rise would have taken at least 12 hours or more. You can see it's risen. The batter should be nicely fermented, frothy, and bubbly, but not sour. See the consistency of the batter, not thick or thin, similar to pancake batter. Mix the batter really well. To cook, take the amount you want to make and ladle into a measuring cup. 1 cup of batter should give you about 3 dosas. Add a little bit of water to make it thinner, about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Mix it well, taste the drop, and add more salt if necessary. Heat up a griddle. I'm using my favorite cast iron griddle that I cook toast, eggs, pancakes pretty much every day. If you want to get it, I'll put a link below. This seasoned cast iron griddle will become non-stick very quickly. If you don't have a cast iron pan, of course, you can use a non-stick pan. I'm going to explain this as if you are a beginner in making dosas. Put a little bit of oil on a paper towel and wipe the griddle. When the pan is hot, pour about 1/3 cup of batter into the middle and spread it in a circular motion from the middle outward. Use a light hand. Don't press down hard while you're spreading, otherwise you're going to pick up the batter onto the back of the spoon and it's going to be messy. If you're new to making dosha, first make a small dosha like this one. Use about 1/4 cup of batter. Just a ladle. The size of your dosha, of course, depends on how big your griddle is. Pour a little oil on top of the dosha and on the sides so it'll be crispy. To cook, it takes about 2 minutes on one side and you'll see bubbles all over and the edges of the dosha will start to leave the pan. Go under around the edges with a spatula. This steel sharp spatula is perfect to use on cast iron. Cook on the other side for less than 2 minutes. Again, move your spatula around the edges and go to the center. Golden brown on the other side too. So total cooking time is 3 to 4 minutes, depending on how thick you like the dosha. And don't worry, the first one you make is not going to look great. The more you make, the better they'll look. I'll make another one. Oil, wipe with paper towel. I'm using 1.5 ladles to make a bigger dosha. By the way, it's easier to put some oil in a bowl and use a teaspoon to sprinkle oil all over the dosha and on the sides. Last one's going to be big. Oil, wipe the pan. By the way, turn the heat down when you pour the batter and increase the heat to medium after you spread the batter. Because if your pan is too hot when you pour, the batter will start to cook very quickly and it's going to be harder to spread. This is a really big dosha covering the entire pan, about 12 inches. You can always fix the ends if the dosha doesn't fall perfectly on the griddle. You can even make bigger doshas with these pizza pans that are 14 or 15 inches. Bigger doshas are definitely better for the cook when you have a large family. Here's our crispy dosha with more protein than a regular dosha. I love regular doshas too, but this dosha tastes really good and is very healthy. Why am I eating dosha by itself when I have Instant Pot sambar? Tear off a piece of dosha, dip it, get some vegetables. It's so good. One of my favorite meals. I'll link the sambar recipe below. I made a thicker version by using less water. The remaining batter will be fine in the fridge for about 4 days. I do hope you make this healthy dosha and tell me what you think in the comments below. Subscribe and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi, baby. Breakfast tomorrow with your favorite sambar.
Oh.
What's the matter? You don't like sambar? No. My favorite.